everyone, and welcome back to Cosplay Tea Time, a fun community of cosplayers bringing you podcast recordings where we'll talk about different animes, fandoms, themes, the art of cosplaying, conventions, holidays, and so much more. Today we're bringing back a fan favorite topic that we've covered once before, and I have many folks here to be talking about today's topic, which is about the show called RWBY. So we're going to get into all of that fun information here in a moment, but first, as always, I like to start with the tea sippers and guests introducing themselves, starting with...
Hi everybody, you know me as Loudwest Cosplay on TikTok. My real name is Naomi, and my pronouns are she, her, they, them. Over to you, Ashley.
Yep, yeah, thank you. So, anyways, I am, of course, Ackley Attack. I go by he, him, and his pronouns, and my social media handles are, of course, Ackley Attack TV on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Ackley Attack 4427 on Instagram. And I'm, of course, cosplaying just for this main event in my gender-bent version of Ruby Rose, as always, and of course, moreover, I've of course got good old Zwei with me back this time around, and I guess moreover, since it's been well over a year, it's good to be, you know, back in the saddle.
Everybody, excuse me. Everybody knows me as Jason or Crimson Fire Cosplayer on TikTok, and pronouns are he, him.
Nice, awesome. Well, welcome everyone. As always, my name is Jen. I'm the founder of Cosplay Tea Time, as well as today's host. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, JenPairedCosplays45. And today I'm cosplaying as Nora Valkyrie from Volume 7, 8-ish. I almost said 9. She's in 9 for a short amount of time, but yeah. I'm doing Nora Valkyrie Volume 7 because last time I did the Mr. Outfit. Now we're in Atlas. So, fun times all around. So, we're just going to do one icebreaker question, which is, what was it? Yes. What are your top 3 favorite cosplays?
I really haven't been getting much into cosplay recently, but I'm currently working on a few. I'm working on an OC, I'm working on Dosai from Bunko Stray Dogs, and maybe I'll do Pro sometime in the future when I have the money. Ack?
Alright, well, anyways, I think as someone who has actually worked on pretty much over 20 cosplays as of now, I've got a lot to choose from, but if I have to pick my top 3 favorites, I've actually break them into categories. One is, of course, pretty much all of my gender bits that I've actually done, like not just any version of Ruby Rose that I actually got, but also my Sailor Moon cosplay that I did, and I think another one that I actually really do enjoy is, of course, any version of Barbara from Genshin Impact that I've done, which is really nice. I do really love cosplaying her, and I think for my third pick, this is actually kind of a hard one, but I'll keep it more busy and say any of the one of 2 versions of Ash Ketchum from Pokemon that I got.
Oh boy, you've all left me with a hard choice. Goodness. If I had to go by top 3, I'd have to say Tanjiro, Deku, and Lucifer.
Nice. Very cool. Let me see. Top 3 cosplays is Nora Valkyrie Mistral outfits, Komi-san from Komi Can't Communicate, and I'm gonna do another RWBY, say Coco Adele, because I feel like a baddie when I cosplay as her, so she's one of my favorite characters. So, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump into today's theme, which again is about the show called RWBY. So RWBY is an animated series created by Monty Oum, with the first 4 trailers of each of the 4 girls premiering in like late 2012, early 2013. The show involves 4 females training to become huntresses to defeat a world of evil creatures called Grimm. The show has multiple storylines, other lovable characters except for Cardin Winchester, and a rocking soundtrack. If you like good rock music, RWBY is the show for you. Today we will be discussing our favorite moments and even characters from the show, because there's a lot to choose from. So Okay, and with that, we're going to get into our first question for the theme, which is, how did you discover RWBY?
Actually, Ruby was first suggested to me by my boyfriend, and it's like, oh, I'll have to check that out later. Ack.
Well, I guess for me, for the most part, I never actually gotten into Ruby when it first premiered because I was like in late high school around that time. But it was actually recommended to me by some friends I know all the way back in 2017. To be honest, so I guess I was pretty much a latecomer to going into the show. But after some recommendations from my own friends and even my girlfriend, I did manage to go through all of the first 4 volumes plus a little bit of volume 5 and both seasons of Ruby Chibi, and I was hooked on that. I was really getting myself in for such a really great animated series, or I guess in this case, a American anime.
Oh goodness. I had some friends tell me about it, and I was like, I'll give it a watch, and here I am.
And here you are. Let me see. I'm trying to think. So I actually discovered it on Tumblr. There was like a bunch of like memes and stuff, and I had no idea what any of it meant. And I actually started watching the 3rd volume first and was even more lost. So I had to go back. This is on the days when it was back on YouTube. So I had to go back and watch like volumes 1 and 2 and then to volume 3. So I think I was late in the game too, actually. Like I started like early 2016 because volume 4 came out like later in 2016, and by then I was like hooked on the show. I was like hook, line, and sinker. I was like, yes, I love this show so much. So I actually have a video depicting all of that on my other YouTube channel, JenMouse45. So you can always check that out later on after this video. Let's see, up next. So this is kind of like a 2-parter question. So this first part is going to depict with the team RWBY. So out of the 4 main girls, so Ruby Rose, Vaishni, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolong, which one of the 4 girls is your favorite?
I would probably have to say Blake is my favorite because like she's quiet, she's more considerate about others' feelings and like how her team interacts with each other as a whole. Exactly.
Well, I guess it's pretty obvious on my part. I always find myself really enjoying RWBY because, truth be told, I really do like characters that have pretty much starting out optimistic, but then over time she actually pretty much starts to grow more and more. And pretty much a good example is that pretty much in the first 3 volumes she's just starting out and, of course, achieving her dream and becoming a huntress. But then from volume 4 and then onwards, she immediately discovers that things are not so black and white. So her story is actually all the more open for different interpretations that can help expand on her development and actually help her understand as a character more. And I really do like what they actually did for this one.
Boy, I have to go with Yang because at first she was a little bit like the goofy character, but later on she starts more character development and she becomes more wise and very more close to her friends and really wants to protect them.
I'm actually going to round it out. I'm going to say my favorite character is Vaishni. So she slowly grew on me. At first it was kind of like the typical, like, I'm too cool and all this stuff. But yeah, over the later volumes, I really like felt kind of like connected with her in some ways. And she's just, I don't know, I guess we could say Volume 9 spoilers, but it's been out for more than a year, so you all should have caught up on Crunchyroll, #not sponsored, by now. But yeah, like, she was kind of like the comic relief, but she was still like there for her friends and everything. So I'm gonna go with Vaishni on this one. So got all of Team RWBY, nice. Okay, so now for the part 2 of this is, who is your favorite non-RWBY character? So we already covered the 4 girls, but outside of that, like pick 1 to 2 characters that you like from the show.
Well, I think my first one is pretty obvious given the fact that I already mentioned I plan to cosplay this character, but Uncle Crow. But my second favorite character would probably have to be they're a very minor character, but I would have to say Penny's father, Pietro Paladonna, because of like it's like disability representation with him. Ackley.
Oh man, this is a really tough one, of course, my part, because there's so many pretty much characters aside from the four main leads that I could connect with, but I guess for the sake of it, I think this is rather tough for me. So I think I'm gonna say it's a tie between both Ren and Nora for sure. Yeah, mainly I think because they're the kind of characters that actually do start off with this dynamic relationship. To be honest, that I do want to see them connect with, and then over time, I think I know hands down, as established in one episode during Volume 7, I do want to see them grow into a full-on relationship that they really can't let themselves go of for sure. And of course, they're kind of pretty much two polar opposites that do connect well. Like, of course, Ren is, of course, the quiet character who is not afraid to stick up for himself, while Nora can, of course, be the loud and energetic comic relief type for sure. So I guess either way, I think just by seeing those two together, I do want to see them accomplish their goals and actually make it all the way into the end whenever they're fighting off Grimm or anything much bigger than they could ever imagine.
Oh, there's so many, but honestly, I think the first favorite has to be Osmond. I mean, he's dedicated to the school to protect his students, and you know, he fought to the end, and I'm gonna surprise everyone with the second favorite. I gotta go with Zwei, because who doesn't love a good boy?
Why? He loves why. I want a spin-off show of just why.
Yes.
Just why. Make it happen. Let me see. Favorite non-RWBY Team RWBY characters, obviously. Nora Valkyrie. I love her to pieces. She is my absolute favorite. Let me see. And then a second one. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I'm gonna say May Marigold. I love her so much. Like, she's in later volumes as well, but yeah, I love her character and her story and everything. It's just, she's the best. She deserves the world. True queen. Anyway, let me see. Next up we have which favorite outfit from a character? What's your favorite outfit that a character wears?
Runs do nothing to the chef apron. I want that apron. Ackley.
I think I'm gonna have to say, I think one outfit that I really do love, and I even dig my own version of it, would definitely have to be RWBY's Mistral outfit from volumes 4, 5, 6, and I guess a little bit of 7 as well, just to pretty much not only on the outfit itself being a massive upgrade from, of course, the OG outfit she originally wore, but also actually shown that she's going through rough times during her journey, right up until she'll make it all the way to, of course, the end, and right before the next one will actually begin, especially with all the torn and shreds that her outfit has actually gone through by far. And this is coming a whole lot since I really do love that outfit out of, well, many different versions of course, my Gentleman Ruby Rose cosplay, with the inclusion of both her Beacon Dance outfit and her ballerina outfit, which I'm sure that topic will be covered pretty soon, but I'm getting way too ahead of myself, so I'll pass it off to Deku.
Oh boy. Honestly, I have to say Blake has a really good outfit. I mean, can't go wrong with fashion choices.
Stylish lady. Let me see. So, favorite outfit. Oh, that's hard. Like looking at all my cosplays, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say Glinda Goodwitch. So I do cosplay Glinda Goodwitch. That cape was a nightmare to make, but it turned out really well. And she can fight in high heels like a woman. What in the world? So, but yeah, I like her outfit a lot. She's like professor. She looks like a baddie out on out in the field and stuff, and she can fight Grim in high heels. So we're going Glenda Goodwitch. So go with that. Let me see. So this next question was actually brought up during the last recording that we did. So this was actually a question that Springy asked for everybody in the chat, which is, which creature of Grimm is your favorite?
I honestly really don't have a favorite one. Ackley?
Well, I guess to make it short, sweet, and to the point, out of all the creatures of Grimm, I'm gonna say a good old-fashioned Beowulf.
I'm gonna say the Wyvern, because who doesn't love a scary dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Let me see. Favorite creature of Grimm. Yeah, I do like the Beowulf. And I feel like Nora would have tried to adopt a Beowulf at some point. I think there's like in the Team Juniper manga or something, she like tries to adopt a Beowulf, which is so canon. But yeah, yeah, those are pretty adorable looking. So let's see. Up next we have, which RWBY volume is your favorite?
I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I would have to probably say season 7 going into season 8. Ackley?
Boy, I guess this is a really tough one because there's a lot of great volumes to choose from by far, not including some of the other RWBY projects that, well, I know some of them are basically canon to the show now, some, not all of them, but out of all the volumes as of now, I think, I guess if anything, I can, pretty much if anything, I think it's basically a three-way tie, of course, my part between 3 volumes, pretty much my first choice would be volume 2 because it's a massive step up from, of course, volume 1 at the very beginning, and we get to see more, of course, of what goes on. And my second choice will have to be volume 6 because it is, of course, as I established earlier, a start of a new journey since after the first one actually ended, and I think for my third and final pick, I would probably have to say volume 8 because I think this is probably the darkest one out of all of the last 3 volumes that we got around that time.
Ooh, boy. I mean, a lot of the volumes, I say all the volumes are good. I'm gonna have to say volume 3 and the 4 is when, because after the fall of, oh gosh, the fall of the school, it's when they were just like, oh, what do we do now? I mean, our school's fallen, most of our, people are gone or missing. It's like, what do we do from now on?
Makes sense. So I like how you became a burrito halfway through the recording. You look so cozy now. It's adorable. Let me see. Favorite volume used to be volume 4. I know I'd probably catch a lot of flack for that, but recently it's been RWBY volume 9 has been my favorite just because I love Alice in Wonderland. Like I love that story growing up as a kid and the movies and everything. And then just like the message, like, be who you want to be, like, you are enough and all that stuff. Like it was really well done. So RWBY volume 9 for the win. Let me see. So up next, I'm actually going to make this a 2-parter. So I realized looking at it, I should have asked this also same question. So the original question was, which fight scene is your favorite? But I'm also going to tack on to which character weapon is your favorite as well.
Honestly, my favorite fight scene is James versus Watt. And also, General Ironwood James versus the group. And my favorite weapon entirely is honestly Watts' ring. Those were really innovative. Ackley?
Alright, well, I guess, for, of course, my favorite weapon, well, again, to, make it short, sweet, to the point, since I do love cosplaying RWBY, I can't go anywhere without, Crescent Rose, hands down. That one is actually a really, cool one, so yeah. And, of course, for my favorite fight scene, again, this is actually a really tough, of course, on my part, but if I had to choose one, would probably have to say the fight between Crow and Tyrion in Volume 4. That one is actually brilliantly well done.
Gosh, I'm gonna say favorite weapons. I'm gonna have to say crescent rolls because sometimes you gotta be up close and personal or be far away. Fights, I'm going to say when Yang and Blake fought, what's his name? The one that chopped off Yang's arm. What's his name?
Adam.
Adam. Yes.
Adam
When they fight Adam, they pretty much like, yeah, you're dead.
Oh, pretty much so.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a gun. Every single weapon in RWBY can transform into a gun, by the way. So that's the joke of the fandom. Let me see. So, favorite weapon? Surprise, surprise, Nora Valkyrie Magnaheed, which I actually do have, thanks to folks in the Cosplay Tea Time chat for getting me that supporting and everything. So got to use her today, so very exciting. And favorite fight scene is whenever the teams in Volume 6 take on like the mega robot and stuff. What's her name? Cordova, something like that. I want to say Godiva, but I think that's a chocolate bar. So now just imagine them like fighting chocolate. Like, oh gosh, no. Yeah, whenever they fight that robot and stuff, like you can just see like the development, not just with the animations, but them as a team working together and stuff. It was really nice to see. So gonna go with that one. Let's see. Up next we have. Well, this one might be tricky. Don't throw me under the bus. But what are your top 3 favorite RWBY songs?
I would probably have to say the opening to season 8 for Every Life. Trying to think of the others. Caffeine. It got so late into RWBY, like around 2017 to 2014, so I don't know all the songs. But those are my favorite too. Actually.
Oh boy, yeah, this is indeed a really tricky one. So, oh gosh, there's so many to choose from. So, but yeah, obviously, I really do love the music in RWBY. That's one aspect I really do love, and I still have fond memories. Actually, meeting the people working on the music: Jeff Williams, his daughter Casey Lee, and Alex Abraham at a convention I went to years ago, which was actually really awesome. But I guess if I have to choose my favorite, my top 3 favorite songs, there's a lot to choose from. I think pretty much the first one is obviously the opening to Volume 1. This Will Be the Day that really gets me pumped up for, of course, what I'm actually in for. And of course, 2 songs from Volume 4, hands down, which are, of course, Bumblebee and Armed and Ready.
Ooh, gosh. Most of them I do know, most of them I don't. It's like, oh, I need to go refresh myself. I'm going to say the opening to season 1 is always the best. I'll burn, and I'm going to have to say the opening to season 5.
Triumph. Good picks. We should make a playlist. So I got so many RWBY inspired playlists. Oh gosh. Let me see. So top 3 favorite songs. Boop. It's one of my favorites. Worthy, which was Blake and Yang's song in the most recent volume. I love it. Anyway, Worthy, Boop, and the one opening from volume 2, I think? Or is it 3? Uh-oh. The one where they're like spinning around. I think it's 3. It's like falling or something. Oh, I'm blinking now. That's not good. Figure it out later. Later on. Let me see. So we got musics. Okay, so we did mention a little bit about this. So apart from like the regular show RWBY, there's also like little spin-offs and stuff. And one of those is a very beloved series called RWBY Chibi, where the gang just create hijinks and it's fun and there's so many inside jokes and everything. It's a blast to watch those. Helps cure your depression. Take that, depression. I got RWBY Chibi on my side. So, yeah. So for folks in the tea room here, what are some of your favorite RWBY chibi moments or like your favorite episodes?
I actually dropped RWBY Chibi because it really wasn't like my cup of tea, but honestly that one episode where everybody's in the pool, that did just kill me. Actually.
Well, I think I gotta say, I guess aside from the main series, I really love all four seasons of Ruby Chibi by far. I just can't get enough of it because of how cute it is. But of course, for my favorite moment by far is probably I think during one episode during season 3 where Yang is like, "I'm Yang, let's fight!" so yeah, that's my all-time favorite moment by far. Yeah.
You did such a good
And
job.
of course, yeah, yeah, really nailed it big time. So, if I had to pick my favorite episode by far, yeah, there's a lot to choose from as of now. So, I think I'm gonna have to say my favorite episode in Ruby Chibi would have to be the probably I think both parts of pretty much where Nora actually drinks coffee and she ends up in a different reality by far. Those were both really good episodes.
My favorite moment has to be when Ruby's trying to tell Juan, it's like, we're trying to take Y to the VET. Poor boy just hears those words and just, nope. My favorite episode has to be when Ren's trying to make pancakes, and every time he turns around, it's all gone. He catches Nora. He's like, "Can I get some syrup?"
You mean the syrup? There's so many funny moments. Oh my gosh, those are like the classic chibi moments. Yeah, the coffee one was so funny because then she goes into like a different dimension. It's like the real world and stuff. Yeah, those are fun. The one moment I really like is whenever Weiss invites them to like the tea party. We get Chibi Klein and like all his different personalities, and Nora's like, you know, where's the crumpets and everything. That's actually what inspired Cosplay Tea Time, was that whole scene. So yeah, that one, and then I forgot about season 4, so thank you, Ackley, for that reminder, because I remember Coco Adele was made in chibi form, and there was that whole like bit with her and stuff, like being cool and popular, and Crow's just like whatever and stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun moments. All right, so let's see. So I know we talked a lot about like RWBY cosplays we have and everything, but do you have any RWBY cos plans in the works?
Well, like I said, I might plan Crow when I have the money and I figure out my measurements, because like trying to get his cosplay offline is kind of difficult because you have to like measure everything and see what kind of size you need. It gets difficult, actually.
Well, I guess on my part, I have a lot of RWBY cosplans on my part that I've been waiting to get off the ground. And if I have to choose one, I think it will probably have to be the one that I've been wanting to get to for a long time, which is my take on RWBY's Slayer outfit from Volume 2. And bit of an interesting story. I was originally going to do it right around early 2020, but sadly that never happened because of you know what. So hopefully, I think if I do revisit the Hag project, hands down, I think I might actually finally get around to work on it and maybe make some changes or some last minute additions that can really help make that cosplay stand out. But until that day comes, I know hands down that's been on my mind for exactly 4 years now, and I do hope the day will come for me to finally get that off the ground.
Honestly, as of this time, I don't. Maybe sometime in the future, but it's hard to say at this point in time.
Makes sense. And that will help you. So many characters you can do, just not Cardin Winchester or Jacques Schnee. No. I'm not doing those two. But any other characters is fine. So, alright, let me see. RWBY cos plans. I have too many. I'm trying to get Nora's Ice Queendom coat done sometime in the near future. I have Weiss Schnee's Atlas outfit that I need to get into, need to get the motivation to get into. And the one that I really, really, really want to do is I want to do Salem, but like the younger version of her whenever she met like Ozma and stuff. Like, I really want to do that, but I'm scared I'm going to get a lot of hate in the fandom because she started everything. So, I picked with the wrong gods, like, put it that way. So, yeah. Eventually. Let's see. Just a couple more questions. This one's a fun one. Do you have any RWBY original characters or OCs?
Oh yes, I do. I actually have two that I mostly use for role playing. Ella and Tilly. Ackley.
Well, I guess on my part, I think my answer to that would be no, hands down. But if I had to go for creating an OC in the RWBY universe, that's kind of hard for me to work on. But I would definitely love to do that. Maybe I think something I think a little bit more loosely based on, of course, what I got on for my gender bang Ruby Rose cosplay hands down. But haven't really settled on that just yet, but if I ever do decide to finally do that, which may seem very unlikely, I'll see if I can come up with something interesting.
As in this point in time, I do not.
No. Well, you're in luck because I love creating original characters and I've got all kinds of spreadsheets I can share with you all if you're interested. If you have the time and the patience to deal with me and all that stuff, then I can definitely help you create RWBY OCs because there's so many rules you have to do. Like the name has to be a color. You know, it can be based on a fairy tale. Most of mine are not based on fairy tales or anything.
To answer your question, Jen, I think the opening for Volume 2 is Time to Say Goodbye.
Time to Say Goodbye. Thank you.
Oh, I just remembered the other song that I liked from RWBY, Hero with Caleb Hills or whatever his name is.
You forgot the classic. Do I have RWBY's OCs? Yes, I actually have a RWBY OC team that I've created with a friend. There's, 4 different characters and everything. I'm actually going to be cosplaying one of them for our original cosplay podcast. But my 2 RWBY OCs that I love and cherish with my whole heart is Auburn and Onyx Wren. They're the children of Lai Wren and Nora Valkyrie. I wrote like their little wedding story, did their little epilogue with their children and stuff. It was so cute and everything. So yeah. Go check out Jen Mouse 45 Wattpad for their stories because a lot of love into that. So okay, let me see. I'm going to do one more question, and then I'll see if you guys have questions, because I thought of another question, but I don't know if it's going to work out. We'll see. But this one's always a fun question, which is, if you could hang out with any RWBY character for a day, who would you hang out with, and what all would you do?
That is a tough one. I mean, it's more or less that they would not want to hang out with me because of, like, our clashing personalities, because like I'm hot-headed, I have a short temper, I get frustrated easily. Yeah, so I think if anybody would hang out with me, it would probably be Yang, because she would probably be the one who understands the short temperament. Ackley.
Well, I guess on my part, if I have to choose, well, I think I do have to agree with, of course, that last part. I would definitely hang out with Yang, and another one that I would love to hang out with is, of course, her and RWBY's father, Tai Yang, and I think pretty much with what we'll do is probably maybe go the RWBY chibi route, and of course with us doing all sorts of shenanigans, and of course some puns and dad jokes galore, nothing but else.
Oh gosh.
Actually, I do like the answer. Oh gosh. It's basically crazy, but I have to hang out with Yang, and it's like, you know what, let's go fly to Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan and, explore the sights, take in the sounds, and just visit anything that's... I don't even go like, hey, let's go visit Mount Fuji. Please don't punch the mountain.
Oh gosh, seems like Yang's the popular answer, huh? I mean, I'd want to hang out with her too, like do some like training and stuff like that. But I would say for my answer, would be Nora Valkyrie. We'd go get pancakes, we'd go to the park, get boba, talk about cute boys and stuff. Like, sounds like the perfect day. And then just take a big nap afterwards, because that'd be a lot of food. I don't think I'd keep up. Oh gosh. But we try. We try. So that was pretty much all the questions that I have. I do have another one, but as always, I like to turn it over to the guest and tea sipper, see if they have any questions for folks in the tea room or for viewers out there. So, Naomi? No.
Ashley?
Well, actually, I do have a question for all of us here, to be honest. Is that I don't think this actually got brought up pretty much since a few months ago, since it got revealed. But I might as well ask this here. Now that RWBY is now in the hands of Viz Media, since after Rooster Teeth closed down, what do you think will come next for, of course, the main series in general, which includes hopefully giving us Volume 10?
I debated bringing this up because we don't have any news. I mean, I've been checking faithfully the RWBY Wiki, Viz Media. I've made so many freaking memes and TikTok videos about it. My hope is that we do get news soon.
Yeah, actually. Oh, go ahead.
I'm really just hoping that they continue where it's going and, like, just, remain faithful to what the writers are doing. Please don't screw it up for us, please. We don't want to see that.
Actually, I heard somewhere that Barbara Dunkelman, the voice of Yank, did say they were in talks of bringing it back, and Jeff Williams was considered to be coming back to create more music for the show, but right now they have been radio silent on what's going on.
That's a good way to put it. Hashtag Greenlight Volume RWBY 10. Or Greenlight Volume 10. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just hoping one day it gets
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good.
I think it's because of the DMCAs that Barbara and everybody signs. They can't really announce anything at the moment right now because Viz made them sign all these NDA disclosures, and a lot of legal stuff is still happening, like copyright transfers and all that.
Makes sense. But once we do get news, the whole RWBY community will rise up from all corners of the social media world, and you'll know when it's
rise
back.
from the ashes.
Exactly. Like a fiery phoenix.
If there's anything, I am hoping they make like a solo movie of RWBY at some point. I would love to see something like that happen, like kind of like what they did with Justice League, but just more focused on the group.
I'll go see it in theaters and cry. And dry eyes.
Like, I would love to see him do like a take on where they meet up with Marvel characters. I think that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I mean, they did with DC, so it's like, they can do it with Marvel,
That actually gets complicated because Marvel is owned by Disney and DC was owned by Warner Brothers, so they would have to go through legal talks.
That's a lot of talking. It's too much. But yeah, just hopefully that there's some news here soon. Just hope people still love and support the show, still cosplay. I know I still love the show and everything, so hopefully get some news here soon. So, all right, great question, Ackley. Any other thoughts or questions?
I think that's probably the only question that I can think of, since this never got brought up until now. So I'll go ahead and pass it over to Deku.
Boy, my thoughts are, they can, as I already mentioned, keep doing the series justice and, keep it on the right path.
Phil Montague's dream.
Because a lot of times when shows get picked up by other mediums, sometimes it kind of just it falls. So I'm excited, but at the same time a little bit nervous about it.
I think that's a normal feeling to have. So, Definitely. Let me see. Okay, so I did think of another random question while we were talking, which is RWBY also has like a bunch of like games, like video games and everything. Sorry, husband. Trying to think like Grimmy Clips, Arrowfell. There was like Amity Arena, stuff like that. So have you?
Yeah.
We'll go back in order. So Naomi, Ackley, Deku, back to Jen. Have you played any RWBY games? If so, can you have like any favorites? Anything you played?
No, but I am going to download Arrowfell onto my DS when I have the money. If it's still in the DS store. Or not the DS store, the eShop.
Whew, boy, this is a really tough one by far because, yeah, I think I am, I haven't really been caught up on the RWBY video games as of now, so this is actually really tricky for me, but however, there is one video game that does have a tie into a RWBY that I've been wanting to get my hands on for a long time, right up until I did at a convention I went to several months ago, and I do know it's from a different series, but I think it does count in the RWBY label, is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Yeah, that game is something that I've been wanting to get my hands on for a long time, especially hearing the news that Team RWBY is going to be in hands out, and plus the storyline they incorporate to which I did remember seeing that in full on YouTube, and it's really quite interesting to be honest. So even though technically it's pretty much it's more RWBY inserted into part of the game itself, I still think it counts, and I'll be really quite curious to see on how it'll go once I do finally play it, now that I finally got my hands on the Nintendo Switch version several months ago.
Amity Arena I really played a lot, but the game doesn't exist anymore, which is sad. It shut down several years ago. Don't know why. Probably because they weren't making enough money, as that tends to happen. But I've also played a lot of Grim Eclipse, which I think is enjoyable if you really like 2D fighting.
So, let me see. So I played a little bit of Arrowfell. I cannot get past the first level because it's a platforming game, and I suck at platforming games. So I'm trying. So eventually I'll go back and redo it and stuff. But yeah, Grim Eclipse I do want to try playing. I never got to play Amity Arena. I saw like little videos and stuff of it, but Grim Eclipse is sitting in my Steam cart as well as the Team Juniper expansion pack because there is plans for me to collab with like some friends and us like pretend to be like Team Juniper characters. Gee, wonder which one I'll be and stuff, and pretend to play those characters while playing the game. So yeah, eventually, stay tuned for that. But yes, okay. Thank you for indulging me with one more question. Actually, let's go back around just so I make sure like everybody spoke their piece and story. So again, like Naomi, Ackley, Jason, any last minute thoughts, questions about RWBY or Cosplay Tea Time? Nope. Ackley?
Well, I think on my part, for any final thoughts, is that I think I know in whatever direction it's currently going as of now, especially with what I mentioned earlier, now that it's picked up by Viz Media, I just hope that it will give us something all the more fantastic, much like with what we got for, of course, pretty much the first 9 volumes, and of course several of the video games, and RWBY Chibi, and the Justice League crossover movie, to which I surprisingly actually like, to be honest. Don't attack me on the hang, and all the more stuff that is considered canon into the main series now. I do hope that for volume 10 and onwards, it'll give us something actually great as what we got previously, right up until the time will come for the show itself to give itself a massive conclusion, hands down. But whatever the case may be, and until that day comes, I know hands down we're gonna show our love and appreciation for our favorite huntsmen and huntresses throughout the entire world of Remnant. And I know I will, with of course Zwei by my side.
Good boy.
Give us more Bumblebee now.
I see. Jason, any other thoughts, questions? No? So So that pretty much wraps up RWBY. I almost said volume 2. No, this is part 2. RWBY part 2 for Cosplay Tea Time. Just want to say, if you're a cosplayer out there and you want to join a fun, wholesome cosplay community where we do these little podcast recordings, be sure to message us on our Instagram. We have our link tree down below. We'll get you squared away in our Discord server. Must be 18 years or older to join. Please make sure to follow and support the lovely guest and tea sippers here. Without them, this would not be possible. Nobody wants to hear me talk, so it's always a great time just having them come by. So make sure you go follow and support their social media channels. And just want to say too, just thank you everyone for supporting Cosplay Tea Time. Thanks for supporting the show. We'll see you down in the comments with some additional questions and hopefully get some participation in there. But as always, we like to make sure that everyone's taking care, staying safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye everyone.
Bye bye.